Let's take a look at this project, which is about creating 3D buildings within After Effects. All the buildings start with a front, and then has a side and another side. And it follows this pattern: 1BF for building front, BFS for building side, and BFSS for the other side. Import the art, file, import, file, buildings.ai, making sure that composition retain layer sizes is selected, and click on import. Here's my composition with all the buildings. I turned off one of those layers in Illustrator. Let me turn back on this layer here. Now that's in After Effects. And this is my thinking. I'm going to duplicate this buildings, and I'll call this one, this composition, buildings 1. And all I need from buildings 1 is the first building. So I'll delete all those other layers, and I'll focus in on building 1 here. I'll then go back to this composition, duplicate it. You can leave the space in composition names, that's okay. I'm just getting rid of the space. And this is my buildings 2. I'm going to delete everything but the buildings 2 layers until I have all the buildings compositions made. Then I'm going to go back and create 3D objects within each of these compositions. Okay, after about 2 minutes, I created all these separate compositions, dividing up the artwork, and I used this original one as the template to open up each one and delete what I didn't need. Let me fold this one into a 3D layer, going within this composition, which is right here. Now that's 3D. Going to select all the layers, and maybe this would have been good to do before I cloned it. I just want to make sure cast shadow is turned on. And now I'm going to have to repeat that for each composition. By doing it originally, I would have saved some time. Next part, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to move the pivot point. Snapping's on. As you drag along the y-axis, then hold down the shift key to constrain to 90 degrees. There's 90. Now I'll do the same thing for here. Start to drag, then hold down the shift key, and I'll assume that's 90. I'll open up all 3 of these rotations just to take a look. 180, 180 by 270 by 180, 180 by 90, so 270 and 90 and zeros. 270, 90s, and 0. So everything is correctly rotated. Let me close all that up. I'll make a new final composition, composition, new composition. Calling this final city. I'll drag my building 1 composition into final city. And I think I'm just going to go back to this composition. Go select all the layers with snapping turned on, and I'm just going to move everything towards the center. Turn on rasterization right here, and now I have a 3D building. If I drag this building, you can see the dimension. Using the dolly in to push in a little bit. Anytime you see a gap like that, you could go back to close up the gap. Okay, increase the light intensity. Make it a brighter day.